Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers comprehensive auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus, benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim, through the repair process, to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Visit EnduranceWarranty.com for your fast free quote today. That's EnduranceWarranty.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers comprehensive auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus, benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim, through the repair process, to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Visit EnduranceWarranty.com for your fast free quote today. That's EnduranceWarranty.com.
This is a podcast from Minute Media.
Warning, the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, kiddies. This is yours duly, John Kassir, the voice of The Crypt Keeper. And you're listening to Slasher Radio.
Welcome to Slash Radio. My name is Mikey Bones, and I'm joined by Catherine and Rob Humphrey. As always, what's going on, guys?
Hello. Why do you do that?
Do what?
Every week you do that. You say, you guys ready? And then Kat says ready, and then you just start. You never even wait for me to say shit.
You tell me all the time, I'm born ready, motherfucker. You should be ready then.
I was born ready, but still, you could,
Why don't you answer me? Why do you not say anything? Are you just looking to see if I'll wait for you at this point?
Because I was born ready, motherfucker. You know I'm ready to go.
I can never, ever win on this show. What's going on, everybody? We are back. Last week we were talking at Pupil. This week we have a Pride movie, which was chosen by Miss Valor.
I almost said horror court. That's not even the segment I need.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah, we're not doing those anymore.
Not if I say no.
There's a point of contention here though, because Rob and I were talking about this actually on the Nick Cage cast recording day. We don't know how we ended up with, because I sent like a whole long list of suggestions. We knocked out a couple of them because we knew that you were going to be mean.
Okay.
Midnight Meat Train. I want everyone to know, I want the listeners to know that my initial Pride pick was Midnight Meat Train, because that's amazing.
And I want the listeners to know I absolutely would have been mean to Midnight Meat Train.
And my initial pick was the gay bed and breakfast of terror,
which I was also on board for. But so I had like a whole list of Pride suggestions. The only one I remember that we took off was Midnight Meat Train, and then like just out of nowhere you were like, so we went with Hellbender, right? And it was like, all right. But we had been trying to choose a movie for so long that it was like, I was afraid that if we asked how we settled with it, we'd start the discussion up again.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, it should be noted that I also said bodies, 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 Cat, and you said no.
I did shoot down bodies, bodies, bodies. I'm not going to be nice to bodies, bodies, bodies.
But wait a minute now. By whole list, there was never an actual list made. We just randomly mentioned horror movies, which going through the chat was Fintabulous, which does not exist.
Yet.
How about Hellbender? High Tension was in there. I've ripped High Tension apart before. I mean, and you kind of can't blame me. The plot holes in that movie are insane.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
I mean, I have to have a pass like that. I'll talk about good they did, sure, but it was not a well put together movie.
High Tension has some issues.
It does. And then them was brought up, which you said sucked. Freddy's Revenge, which you said sucked. You called
sucks.
Sissy a train wreck. What list? The Hellbender was the only thing talked about with any type of niceness. Figured that's what we're doing.
I know, goddamn good and well. The Gay Bed and Breakfast of Terror was on that list.
Gay Bed and Breakfast of Terror is on that list, and I bet it's amazing. I'm going to watch it anyway. I will say, just before we get into Hellbender, we have not talked about this movie at all. It's the only one that wasn't like ripped apart in the thread, which is true. That being said, I don't have high hopes that this one isn't going to get ripped apart either. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this. This is where the like point of the not horror court comes in, because we don't do those anymore. But like a horror ruling.
Yeah, the horror court will be back eventually.
I would like to pitch like a new rule for the show. It has been true unofficially, but I would like to make this an official slasher radio rule. When there are good gay horror movies that I find, we're gonna watch them. Like I'll use them as my picks. We'll get them on the show. They're few and far between, apparently, but I try, because that was the thing, is that like I think X would have been a good pick. I think
I thought of that too.
Perfection would have been a great pick.
We did both of those though.
That's the thing, is we've done both of those. Like, because when there's one that's good, I try to get it on the show as soon as possible.
Yeah, and while watching this, because it's unfortunate, but when you think gay horror, you think bad movies. And that's not, any connotation because of it's gay horror, obviously, but the movies are usually bad, and I fucking hate that, but that's a reality. So when we were picking it, I kind of just like, all right, usually these movies are bad. Kat would know better than me on some good ones. But then while watching it, we'll get into it later, thoughts on it and all that stuff, and break it down. But while watching it, I thought of like 3 other movies we should have did. X being
I
one
thought of
them.
a few that I would have preferred.
We should have did Sleepaway Camp.
The one that it kills me that I didn't think of, it's I think because it's less gay, but I think American Mary would have been an interesting pick.
There's also that one that was on Shudder a while back that's like the giallo kind of thing set in the gay porn world. You know the movie?
Okay, I don't know about this.
No.
Yeah, it's called like Knife and Heart or something, I think.
Adding this to my watch list now. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, and Sleepaway Camp, I'm not gonna be that nice to.
I like Sleepaway Camp. What's wrong with Sleepaway Camp?
So Sleepaway Camp, it's not even that I don't like Sleepaway Camp. It's that it's always on the top of like, it's the same issue that I have with Freddy's Revenge, where I get so tired of seeing it as gay representation, because while technically, or in this case, I guess, trans representation, I get so tired of seeing it on these lists because the representation isn't good. I think I get really frustrated with that line of like, because there are some things that everything before a certain time period has aged poorly in terms of queer representation. That's just a fact, because terms change and stuff evolves. But I get really frustrated with the line of like which things we embrace as this was great for the time and this was offensive, because I think the line is very silly.
Yeah, there are a lot of people trying to pull the plug on Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, and
Really?
I
didn't know that.
Yeah.
This is something that I get into it a little bit more with sitcoms. The one that I feel like I get into a fight about a lot is Chandler's dad, where it's like people get really after the trans representation on Friends because Chandler's dad was played by a woman, even though he was a cross-dresser. It was a whole thing. But it's like the fact that they were having that conversation at the time was just like, I think it's fine that it hasn't aged well because they opened up that conversation. But like, and the thing with the horror community is that like, we do this with stuff that's actually harmful. You know, I was reading a list the other day of like for this, we were trying to pick a movie and I looked up a list of like the best queer horror movies. And on the list, first of all, Gremlins 2 was on there, which is very funny.
What?
Because one of the Gremlins is trans.
Oh, that's right. We should have done the new batch. God damn it.
We should have. I mean, I'll accept it. Yeah, I'll take it.
So there was that. But also Sleepaway Camp was number 1. Freddy's Revenge was number 2. Every goddamn time. And I get so tired of it because it's like those are actively you could make the case that those are actually harmful, you know? And then Psycho was on there too, where it's like it's almost better to have like queer coded movies than it is, and which is why one of the ones I had pitched was Raw, because it's not actively an LGBTQ plus movie, but it's been embraced by the community for its themes, which are I think less problematic than something like Sleepaway Camp, where it, you know.
Yeah, and
or Psycho.
That's the trouble too, because you know you try and find a good movie.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard.
Like it sucks that it's that hard, but you know it's hard nonetheless.
And everyone talks about the kid in Freddy's Revenge, but no one talks about the like weird gym coach. No one talks about Schneider.
Yeah.
And how inappropriate that was and how far that set us back. Like,
yeah. Another movie a lot of people are coming for lately is Silence of the Lambs.
What?
Listen, Silence of the Lambs has its see, that's another one where it's like it opened up that conversation and I can't be mad at it for its time and place. Has it aged the best? No.
But well, I will say this for Silence of the Lambs,
problematically than Sleepaway Camp. Yes.
there is a scene of dialogue specifically in Silence of the Lambs where Lecter says he's not a transsexual, he thinks he is.
He is.
And they go into this whole thing about how transsexuals are generally not violent.
Well, see, that's the thing that I'm thinking, because they have the clarification in Silence of the Lambs. The point of contention that I've seen with that though is that transsexual as a term has become like terribly outdated.
Yeah, well, we can't start doing that for fucking the words that were fine then. You know what I mean? Like
that's why I think that's
to me it's
kind
very
of
annoying.
It's aged. It hasn't aged well, but when you put it in its time and place, I really don't think it's a problem, because like you're right. They have that conversation where they address that that's not an issue for.
Right. Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm much more concerned about the message of something than I am the words that it uses to convey that message.
Yeah, especially because and then again, the line seems so arbitrary to me because Rocky Horror Picture Show, very beloved by everyone in the community but me, but it throws the word transsexual around left and right, and like I feel like the line is arbitrary sometimes, and it's very frustrating, and it comes up a lot in LGBTQ horror. Also, Rob wouldn't watch Skinamarink.
It's not a movie. It doesn't qualify.
We should have did Rocky Horror. That's the crime of it all. But all right, nonetheless, here we are with Hellbender. We will get to that soon. We have drink roll call to get to. We have go through some horror news. We can kick off drink roll call. I would like to go first.
Okay.
A little peek behind the scenes for everybody listening at home. Recording schedule was thrown off a little bit. Usually we record late on a Saturday night. Today we're recording smack dab in the middle of the fucking afternoon on a Sunday. I took a stroll around the liquor store. A stroll. I was looking for something. I almost bought that Fireball keg I showed you guys last week. Found out it was $100 and that wasn't happening. So I'm looking for something drink roll call appropriate. This has changed my liquor store trips indefinitely, this segment. So I had an idea and I was walking by a bottle and I was like, this would be a power move. And that I was thinking, I'm like, all right, maybe. And I took a couple laps around the store. I'm like, all right, you know what? Nothing else is tickling the pickle. So we're going to go with this. And this was a decision that I made thinking we were going to record late on a Saturday night. So I've already bought the bottle and I've dedicated to it. I have nothing else to drink. So here we are. I'm going to do it anyway. So my whole day is now completely fucked. And this I'm sending to you guys in the chat. Don't mind one of these shot glasses, but I'm taking shots of Jaeger.
Yeah, you are.
Now I poured 3. I've had one already.
And every time we say you're gonna have to take another one.
No.
Are you drinking that Jaeger warm?
No, that was a picture I took when I got it. No, it was in the freezer.
All right, I was gonna say, what the fuck are you doing?
It was in the freezer.
All right, man, Jaeger. I mean, I can't imagine why, but
because of what it does. Jaeger is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, does it work?
I was, in college, we used to just do shots of Jaeger.
Oh yeah.
College all about just getting as drunk as you can, as quick as you can.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I am back in my early 20s because I have woken up to record the show with about 3 and change hours sleep, ate a slice of pizza out of the microwave, and taking shots of Jaeger. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. Yeah, so the show is detrimental to my health. Let's just say that. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. You inspired me, Mikey, because we did have plans to do this last night, and we moved it to today. I planned on drinking Sunday smack dab in the middle of the afternoon. But when you said that you were going to do this for drink roll, you didn't tell us what, but when I found out that you were still doing drink roll call, I decided I would also still do drink roll call. I also am getting drunk at 2:00 in the afternoon on Sunday, on Father's Day before a family event. So that's fun.
The way to do it.
But I don't know how specific I should get with my drink. I found a cocktail that I'm very excited to be making at home, and it's not perfected yet. I'm still in the trial and error phase, so I don't have a pretty picture.
Okay.
I don't know if I should wait for the reveal until I have it down. This is going to be my drink the next couple weeks until I've got it perfected, though.
Okay.
All right.
I'm excited.
All right. Well, as you guys said, it's Sunday afternoon. Unlike you guys, I have to meet my boss later, so I'm drinking cheer wine tomorrow.
Come on, man, double down. Throw your balls on the table. Let them know what it is.
I'm going to be drinking tonight when I meet my boss, but I don't want to show up drunk.
Imagine showing up going, hey, what's going on?
They named a drink after me.
Called the Carolina Lizard Man. Oh, he'd be so insulted with you.
He's not from here, dude.
Oh, okay. You might have one with you then.
Fine.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, no, he's not. He doesn't seem to be the biggest fan of living here either. He's from San Diego, and he really wants to go home.
That's a mood, though.
I bought this Jaeger too, like maybe a half hour before we started talking about moving stuff around. I was like, okay, I have Jaeger in my car right now, whole bottle. I sent a message in our group going, I'm letting you guys know now. I'm still doing what I'm doing. You did this. Here we are. All right. So needless to say, I will probably be taking shots of Jaeger for the next couple of weeks on the show for drink roll call.
What did you guys do with your free Saturday night? That's the real question, because normally Saturday night the recording's looming overhead, and then that's what we start doing late at night. But I played Prison Architect, and it was fantastic.
Oh, nice.
That's fun.
Yeah, because I have no life, so I'm going to build a prison.
Do they have buckets facing each other?
No, no, but I made glass cells, so everybody could see them pooping.
All right. I didn't really do much. I played Dead by Daylight, watched a friend of mine had a subathon, and I was there like just fucking around in his chat.
Oh.
Yeah, he put whipped cream on his face. Yeah. Ugh.
That'll drive the numbers.
Yeah. It was funny.
So I was the reason why we had to move stuff around. I have had just like a hellish scheduling week. Every time I had too much stuff to do this week, and every time I got it sorted, someone would call me with an emergency or like some kind of thing that needed taken care of. So I ended up having just like a really tough time this week. Long week from Monday to today, actually. And which is why I'm getting drunk before Father's Day. But so what I was supposed to be doing this weekend and why I asked that we move the podcast, I take this weekend off usually, because it is the 24-hour novel writing challenge, and which is a little bit misleading as a name because it's 24 hours across a weekend. And there are multiple ways that you can do it. The most common way and how I usually do it is the 12-12 hour, which is 12 hours over 2 days. Some people do like 8 hours the first day and then, just kind of fill in throughout the weekend. I usually am pretty good about taking the whole weekend off and doing the 12-12. Since I did not have Friday or Sunday free, because of scheduling conflicts all throughout the rest of the week, I ended up doing the gauntlet, which is 24 hours straight of writing, which technically ended at midnight, but I was so fucking tired. And I knew I was going to be because that's like a 24-hour workday. That's dumb. Would not recommend.
Ended at midnight. We could have recorded the show anyway.
I would have been so out of it. I would have been more out of it than I am today, which would have been impressive. But
that would have made it a better show.
I'm glad that we're. I also wouldn't have had time. I didn't have time to watch the movie. I watched the movie this morning.
Oh,
I would have just been making shit up, which, to be fair, is what I'd been doing all day anyway. That's my job. But I'm glad that it came up on the podcast because I also want to give a shout out to EyeRChris, who sponsored my book.
Look at Chris.
He did what?
He sponsored the book this year.
Chris, what the hell, man?
What a response! Wow.
Yeah,
no,
good job,
it's
Chris.
nice. Like, what the hell? It's nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, what a response! What the hell, man? Nice. That nice.
So thank you for that. You'll be. It's still. I wrote it in 24 hours and was pretty delirious by the end there. So it still needs a lot of revisions and editing and stuff, but that'll be coming to you sometime.
Good shit, Kat. Goddamn.
All right.
News.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers comprehensive auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus, benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim through the repair process to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Visit EnduranceWarranty.com for your fast free quote today. That's EnduranceWarranty.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers comprehensive auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus, benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim through the repair process to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free. free.
Visit EnduranceWarranty.com for your fast free quote today. That's EnduranceWarranty.com.
It's time to hump the news with Rob Humphrey.
He's not a genius. There's really not a huge amount of stuff to talk about, but we can run through a couple of things. Velma Season 2. Apparently Max confirmed that the adult animated series was renewed. I haven't watched any Velma. I remember we talked about it and Kat was all kinds of pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying.
So they kind of, I mean, at least they prefixed it this time with adult anime. Like, I had no idea until Kat said something.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it either, but I do remember Kat's reaction.
See, the fact that they're confirming that it's for adults, I think
It's
just
better.
it's better, but it's also more confusing because it's like they do a lot of making fun of adults that watch cartoon in the show, which was kind of my issue with the show. Is like they don't know who their audience is. Like they're making fun, and it's not like a South Park thing where they make fun of everyone indiscriminately. They just take enough shots at people who might be watching the show that you feel kind of insulted. Like,
Yeah.
It sounds perfect for me. I make fun of people that watch cartoons too.
Yeah, I don't.
yeah, but
like
you wouldn't watch it, is my point. Like because it's a cartoon.
It's so weird though.
If it were a live action Velma where they're making fun of people that watch cartoons, that might actually be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. It's a weird route to go with Scooby-Doo. Like that, what you need to let people know that out of the gate, because I would never have thought. And it's still cartoony as hell.
Yeah.
Like the animation's very close to Scooby-Doo. Like like everything I've seen, I had no reason to think it would be any adult animated series ever.
Also, there's no dog.
Really? No dog at all?
No dog
Come on,
whatsoever.
guys, what are we doing?
And then like one of the bits, they're like, oh, because like they have the van. The van has a cameo in the show, which is more than the dog has. So they're like, wouldn't it be dumb if we drove around in this and solved mysteries? And it's like, okay, so you don't want adults who watch cartoons to watch this, and you clearly don't want Scooby-Doo fans to watch this. Like, literally, who is this show for?
I think they just made it for you to watch, Kat.
Next thing up is Seven, which gets talked about a lot on the show, a lot more than I enjoy, is getting a 4K remaster.
Ooh.
Yeah, David Fincher confirmed that is in the works.
All right.
That's not going in my collection.
Oh, I'll be picking that up.
Really?
Yeah.
I probably won't be picking this one up, but only because I already have like the special edition thing. I don't think I need to replace it just yet.
That's the thing. When they did that with Texas Chainsaw. I got I don't remember which one I got, but it was like a Steelbook original Texas Chainsaw DVD, and I was like, yes, man. And it was on sale and all. And then a couple weeks after I got it, they came out with another. I'm like, you motherfuckers. That's why it was on sale. So they pissed me off with redoing stuff the way they do. It's like, fuck, man. Oh, next thing up. Okay, I have to send this to you guys. We talked a couple of weeks ago about the Amityville Horror book release.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Psycho's getting one. And this is... guys, go to Bloody Disgusting, everybody listening, or even just Google it. I'm sure you can find it no matter what. The Psycho novel is getting a beautiful special edition release. And like this is crazy.
This one's a lot more tempting for me than the Amityville.
$155.
$154. They know it's a book, right?
Do you see it though? It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's still a book. I mean, $155.
What's the most you've ever spent on a book, Rob?
I don't know, like $250. Go to a used bookstore, you can get shit real cheap.
But this is like almost like an art piece too.
Buy thrift books.
What?
Nothing. It's pretty. It's nice.
It is. There's artwork in here. What is that? Suntup.press is the is the website. If anyone wants to go look that up. I think this is the same company that did the Amityville book.
It is. They've got different editions too.
What are they looking like, bro? I couldn't find it.
Well, there's a numbered edition of 250 copies. That where the hell's the? I can't find the price on that one. And then there's a lettered edition that is limited to 26 copies. You have to enter a lottery to get one.
Damn.
And the cost is $1,850.
God damn.
It's a book.
But if somebody has that type of money to blow, like imagine their collection, you know, like that's what this is like. It's a collector's edition.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it. Like I would never spend that kind of money on a book, but you know, I also don't collect books. So I could see someone doing it. Like if they had a special edition of like dude, Rob, how much we paid a good amount for that, especially you, that Friday disc set. Like that was pricey. Wasn't that pricey?
Like $120 or something, I think.
Yeah, but you know, for something like, imagine it being like this is like this thing.
Here's a copy of Robert Bloch's book Psycho, used for $3.07. Oh,
you are something else. You are something else. That would be the one I get though.
If I had the kind of money to spend on this, I would.
Hell, I would. If I had that kind of money to drop, I would have that. Again,
and that's why you ain't got no money.
That's true. All right, here's one. Okay, here's one I'm gonna pick up. I'm sure Rob will too. Deadstream is getting a Blu-ray release in July.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
That's
I'll
nice.
get that. I like that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick this one up. Oh, there's a Steelbook. It looks like also.
I don't like Steelbooks.
What's wrong with you and Steelbooks, man?
I just don't like them.
Be nice to Steelbooks. Oh, it even has that is funny. I sent it to you guys. It has the wheel that he spins in the movie, like on the.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's fun.
I'm definitely getting this. It doesn't. There's no pre-order. Damn. All right, I'm gonna keep my eyes out for this. I'm gonna try and remember. Evil Dead Rise is hitting Max streaming service later this month.
Woohoo.
About time.
Yeah. Anyone hasn't seen this yet? Absolutely incredible movie. Love it, love it. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is getting a new Funko Pop, and it's recreating that pizza delivery scene. I sent a picture to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone listening, Bloody Disgusting has it up. You can probably find it anywhere. This thing is fucking adorable. I kind of want this.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I already have a Killer Clown Funko Pop too. I got another one.
Mikey's a Funko guy.
It's happened, bro. I'm not happy about it either.
I own some, but I got off that train pretty quick.
I'm trying, and I hold out pretty good, but the special ones like this, because this one has like a couple different characters in it. It's on a platform. The one that got me back in was that Michael Myers house I showed you guys. I was like, how the hell do you... Yeah. So the special ones get me, and they seem to be doing more and more of them, so it's not looking good.
The good thing with me and Funko Pops is that it takes me so long to make up my mind about them that they're usually gone by the time I've caved. Like the Sharknado one, I went back and forth about forever, and then, you know, I was like, I'm gonna do it, and they're like sold out, and I was like, okay, well, never mind.
All right, propstore.com is these guys have crazy shit. They have, again, a whole block of stuff from horror movies that they're auctioning off. A couple of things to mention is, and these are pricey, they have estimations that they'll go for. They have the screen matched evil clown doll from Poltergeist. Is estimated to go for between $200,000 and $400,000.
Ooh.
That's a lot of money.
I would, if I had it, I would do it. That thing's funny.
That the book's not looking so expensive now.
Yeah. They have the Charles Hallahan's, the spider head from The Thing. Wow.
Oh.
That's looking to go between $100,000 and $200,000.
You gonna buy that for me, right, Mikey?
Yeah, okay. If I was to buy you anything like that, it wouldn't be from The Thing, buddy. I'll tell you that. I would get
Terrifier, probably.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I would get you this though. Friday the 13th, New Blood, a mask, one of the Jason masks that were worn by Kane Hodder is looking to go between 60 and 120,000.
Oh.
Wow. We need more patrons.
Yeah, we do.
I have a lot cooler house.
They have Friday the 13th. Oh, this is from the remake. But prosthetic head, torso, bear trap, and chain from the Friday the 13th remake, 30 to 60,000. They got a lot of cool shit on here, man. They have a stunt mask from H2O, Cult of Chucky, Freddy vs.
Nobody
Jason.
wants an H2O mask.
I would, well,
This is
yeah.
like the worst mask in the franchise.
It's a bad mask.
My favorite's that it keeps changing throughout the movie, and at one point it literally has like blonde hair. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, they got something from Saw, Cat. Documentary footage matched exploded Billy puppet head.
Ooh.
Between 4,000 and 8,000.
That's not so bad.
That's
You
not
could get
that bad.
Cat. They take a firm.
4 payments of $2,000, Cat, every 2 weeks. That could be
That doesn't
yours.
sound so bad.
Right. Yeah, they got a lot of cool shit on here. And Twilight Zone. Oh God.
Did they take limited edition books?
Trade. Yeah. So, what was the name of this website again? Propstore.com. And again, if any of you sumbitches going over there with intent to buying this stuff, and you're not spending at least $3 a month for our Patreon, shame on you.
For shame, you cheap asshole.
Yeah. Oh man, if I ever hit lottery, like I would just buy everything on here. It'd be my house.
Mikey's gonna be on a documentary.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, that show, they used to have that show called The Lottery Ruined My Life. Mikey
Yeah.
be on that.
Oh,
shit.
absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what? That ride will be a motherfucker. So I'll be living like the best person on the planet for at least a couple years, right? That's how that would go. Dead by Daylight, end of transmission. Just worth mentioning. I mean, we covered it when we had Matthew Cote on. All that is, well, not all of it, but, you know, the end transmission chapter is out. So the new chapter release that he talked about is out now. It came out last week. It's a doozy. It's a doozy.
But not Nick Cage yet, right?
No, Nick Cage is not out yet.
All right.
Not yet.
Not yet. We also, you know, I guess just to keep the listeners up to date on that, we will be having Matthew Cote on again. It's looking like it'll be for the next chapter release. And for what it's worth, in quote unquote news mention, they pretty much just said there's really nothing else they have to say but what they've released. So, you know, it looks like we've seen pretty much everything for it. So that's good. At least they're being really transparent with that release. And, you know, that's it. Halloween 2 is getting a tabletop game.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. Looks cool.
Why Halloween 2?
Don't know.
Okay.
Not bad. At least not Halloween 3.
That would be amazing.
Oh God. Oh my God. You wouldn't be allowed to have the Dr. Chalice.
You just run around banging people as Dr. Chalice. I think it looks like Trick or Treat Studio already has a Halloween tabletop game, Cat. So
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing that somebody picked up the rights to do. I think that Fright Rag was involved in Halloween 2 somehow.
Yes, they are. I'm not exactly sure how either. But it is up on Kickstarter right now. There's 24 days left, so plenty of money to go over there and get involved with it. Up to $75,000.
People like these tabletop games, man. I'm looking at these games and thinking, man, I should get them. But my problem is I buy these games and then I don't have anybody to play them with. So then they just sit in a box.
Yeah, and see what I don't like. I'm not mad that you get on Kickstarter and you do something like that. I'm not mad at all because it helps bring these things to life. So I don't want it to sound that way. But I forget which. Oh, the Dead by Daylight one. There was another one that I can't remember, and this one. They were Kickstarters, and really all you get as far as like perks and the tiers of donation, all you get are copies of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Yeah.
you know, like I wish they would have had some more stuff in there. And by the way, you can donate any amount, but the tiers where you'll get the game, $59, $99, and $150.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, it looks like, I'm looking at it now, it looks like it's a really cool game and everything. But again, I'm going to pay $60 for something to sit in a box on a shelf because nobody's ever going to come along. Like, to play it. You know, I've had the Jaws game, the Thing game, all of them just sit there.
Yeah. And the way I look at stuff like that is because, you know, board games aren't for me. But so for me personally, if I'm going to spend $60, I'll get a couple DVDs. They're going to do the same thing, sit on a shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but at least I'll get to watch them every now and then.
Yeah, because they've done a couple of other games too. Like I remember they did Silent Night, Deadly Night, and My Bloody Valentine.
Yes, yes.
And I didn't pick those up. It's hard to pass up Halloween though.
It is. It is. Just to say you got it, if
Yeah.
nothing else, you know.
Because it does look cool.
Yeah, it does. But that's all I have for the news.
That means it's time to press the button.
God damn it.
Crazy idiot! Get the fuck out of here! You! Go ahead, go back to turning tricks and old folk and you pain in the ass!
Gabagoli Mystery Corner, where our listeners send over Italian memes making fun of me for being Italian with no other purpose than for me to just react on the show.
Well, to celebrate your heritage. I think
Yeah,
is
celebrating Italian American heritage, Mikey.
That's what they call it. It's not true. The memes go up on Patreon.
I don't think I've seen this one before.
We describe them on the show. Oh my God. Are you serious? Wow. It's labeled Early Italian Nuclear Test, colorized 1957. It's a picture of a pizza. How do you not call this making fun of me for being Italian? What is this celebrating? Look at this.
It's celebrating pizzas and Italian Americans and all the culture that you guys embrace.
It looks like some stunad put a pizza in the oven without a pan, tray, anything, and just on the rack. And the dumbass didn't realize that dough is going to form strangely. And it's a pizza that's like sunken in almost in the middle. And it's like a very scary looking dough tube that forms from the pizza between the racks onto the bottom of the oven. And there's like a puddle of melted mozzarella around it. And it looks like the puffball from the mushroom cloud from a nuclear bomb. This is rude. This is mean. It's uncalled for. The fact that we allow this is a monstrosity to everyone in the world.
That's a shame, Mikey, that you don't feel celebrated.
No, how do I feel celebrated?
Oh, you should. Everybody stops what they're doing.
Us about how to make a pizza.
Yeah, to talk about your culture and where you're from and your heritage and all the things that make you special.
I talked about a pizza melting in an oven with me making fun of it. I didn't talk about where I'm from, my heritage. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but now we know to use a pan.
That's right.
When we're making
Now we know.
pizza.
Everybody should know to use a pan. Whoever this happened to deserved it.
And we're helping to spread that knowledge.
You need a pizza pan.
I don't like it being said like that, but you know what? All right, fine. Shot of Jaeger. I hope you're happy. This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing to me.
Well, let me help lift you up, Mikey, with this Tony Danza fun fact.
What? Oh, hold on. Wait. Time out.
What? What happened?
That was disgusting, and you hit me with a Danza immediately. That
I
was
didn't
bad.
I didn't say it yet.
But you told me you're going to do it. No.
This is to lift you up. It'll brighten your spirits. Tony Danza, the patron saint of all Italian Americans. We're going to celebrate him now.
No.
On May 9th, 2005, during a go-kart race with NASCAR star Rusty Wallace, who was a guest on the Tony Danza show, Danza's kart flipped after Wallace accidentally bumped him.
Wow.
Who cares?
So now you know.
I know what? That he tipped in a go-kart?
Yep. And now I just sent you a thing, too, that
Unbelievable.
came in anonymously.
Allie, I forgot which button it is, to be honest with you. Okay, good. Stop sending these, Allie. Stop making them. Stop sending them. I do appreciate you moving the text over to the left. You know I was right about that. That looked awful.
This is anonymous. We no idea who sent this.
No.
Allie sent it. Well, Miss Huge Clown Penis sent it.
Huge clown penis.
They come in anonymously every
Can't
week.
confirm that.
And
I can confirm it.
No.
to
Don't
help
think so.
help celebrate you and Mr. Tony Danza.
Rob, when does it end, man? It's Father's Day, dude.
Tony Danza played one of television's greatest dads on Who's the Boss. Does he deserve not to be celebrated as well, Mikey? Come on.
No more next week.
No more till next week. Okay.
No. No more. Ever.
No more till next week. Okay.
I don't know why I show up. I don't know why I showed up. That Jaeger timing was awful. You slipped right on in there, man. Trying to bum rush me. That was messed up. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back to discuss Hellbender. Oh, boy. All right.
How's the Jaeger treating you?
You know what? This might be a good thing in a way. 2 is going to be the... I don't know why I poured the third one. But, you know, I knew I was going to take one before, and I'm like, maybe I'll want 2. Let me have it ready. Good Lord.
Put a worm in it.
Yeah, okay. Here we are. It's Pride Month. We had a lot of stuff shuffled around, so we got to this a little later than we would have liked to. Yeah. But here we are, and we're talking Hellbender. Does anyone want to go first with our opening thoughts of it?
I have an interesting cultural experience with this one. And we'll probably get into it just a tiny bit more at the end when I do reviews, but I have had kind of a roller coaster of a time with Hellbender because it was last year. It came out it was made in 2021, I think, but that was like its festival release, I think. It hit Shudder last year. It was on a lot of the best movies of 2022 lists. It was on a lot of best queer horror lists. This was like critically a moment last year. It was actually on one of the lists that we did, where it ranked Sissy as number 3 and Hellbender, I think, was number 5 on the list. Like, this was a huge deal last year. While I was looking up reviews for this, and we'll get into it obviously in the episode. I felt like it was very overrated. Like fine, but overrated, and so I didn't understand the hype. While I was looking up reviews today, the pendulum has swung way back the other way, and in a reverse Halloween Ends situation, people do not like this anymore. It has tanked. Like the percentages have tanked on a lot of review sites. People are kind of losing their love for this one, which again, so now I might like it more than the average person now. I feel like I've been all over the place on this one, but really it's just me standing with the position of it's fine, and everyone else seems to be moving around me in this. It's strange.
Okay. I had not seen, I knew nothing about this movie going in. I seen it talked about and stuff, but I just, I didn't see trailers. I didn't see anything. I feel like the best way I can explain this movie, as far as like a true blanket statement for it, I feel like the premise was super interesting. They executed a lot of things very well. And the problem with it is it was at a level of almost sophistication that when you try and do a movie the way they're doing it, you need to be really, really good. And I think this was good, but I don't think it was good enough to put it all together in the way that they were trying to. They weren't quite able to achieve it, because as far as story and a lot of stuff there, they got it, but just everything else wasn't enough to kind of push it up to that next level.
I do think that this was written for, like, it has like the storyboarding potential of an A24 movie without the A24 budget. Like, there is kind of that pretentious element to it.
It does. It is a little bit of a pretentious movie. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Not
if that
in
makes
a
sense.
bad way,
Yeah.
no.
But it just wasn't good enough to make it up there with that. And the characters were great. Like they, and the dynamic between the mother was a really fucking interesting character to me. So I love that. There were things that could have been done better, and that I think is the ultimate problem with this. A lot of things could have been done better.
So I think it's extremely funny that we spent so much time going back and forth trying to find a good Pride movie that we wouldn't all hate, and this is the one that we landed on. This movie was. I think this movie thinks very highly of itself, but doesn't have the goods to back it up.
Yes.
The story is extremely simple, but it could be effective, but it's not. I did not enjoy. This was what, like 86 minutes long or something. I checked the runtime. I don't know how many times during this movie, just waiting for it to get over. The execution on this thing was awful. And also, Kat, maybe you can explain this to me because I'm just a boring straight white dude. But what in the fuck does this have to do with queer pride or anything else? Like, I didn't get it at all. I was watching this going, where the fuck? What is going on here?
Yeah. So this is this is one of those fun movies where I kind of see it sometimes in the community. They don't always let me into all the meetings.
That's hysterical.
Sometimes I hear things where it's like, what? We're doing what now? The Skinamarink phone is one of those times where I don't quite know what's going on there. This one, I get it because there's well, first of all, she is into Amber, I think is the girl's name.
I thought that too.
I didn't pick that up.
That's a romance arc that is started and not finished. But I think also I read a couple of pieces about it last year. If I had been smart or had the time, I would have reread and brought up some of the articles. There were a lot of Pride articles about this movie last year when it came out. I think a lot of people in the community also identify with the sense of otherness.
That I can see.
That is present in this.
The thing with her and Amber, or her being into Amber, is I kind of thought that, but we don't see her interact with literally anyone else other than her mother, so we don't know. Like, I don't have a way to gauge her reaction to this girl to see if she's into her or if she's just fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
And I think that's one of the things. So for me, I definitely I knew that she was into Amber. I picked that up right away. It was a feeling that persisted throughout the entire thing. I also, and maybe I'm wrong because I'm not a Hellbender, but I don't think that you go like that high level of torture for a snub if you're just trying to be friends with someone. Like, that's a personal, jilted, scorned lover situation right there. It's a messed up one, but you don't go to those kinds of lengths for someone that you wanted to be a friend unless you had already there's that whole sissy argument to be made, I guess. But you shouldn't obsess over this, like, if you just want someone to be your friend. So I do think that relationship with Amber tracks, but I also I see what you mean, like, that they don't really, because it's one of the areas where the movie isn't better executed, because if we had seen her interact with more people, that plot point where she's a lesbian would have hit a lot harder, you know?
I'm glad Rob didn't see it because I watched this movie with Allie. I told her how to watch it. She was like, "Oh, I've never seen it. Let me know what the hell you guys are talking about." We threw it on, and we were talking about it after a little bit. And we had a similar to what the discussion you guys were having. I got that right away. I was like, oh, okay. She likes this Amber chick, the way she was looking at her in the pool and all that stuff. And Allie said she didn't get that at all. And she thought she wanted to be her. And that's why she took the hair clip. Right. And I was like, damn, man, that's there, that is there. And I don't know. I took it as she, I still stand with she was into Amber. I do stand with that. But yeah, no, I wish they would have been more clear about it, man. I don't know why they wouldn't have. That would have been they had that whole spot to themselves, and I don't know. It again could have been done better. I'm gonna say that a lot in this movie because at first I didn't like it at all. and it won me back enough,
Yeah.
to where, yeah, it did. And maybe we can backtrack a little bit to the beginning too. This movie was all fucking over the place, man. They gave you I'm trying to think of a movie to compare it to. Unfortunately, the only one I'm thinking about is absolutely awful. But like a Paranormal Activity next to Kin kind of, like, I can't think of maybe the beginning of the last Evil Dead remake, like that old timey hang 'em in the woods, they're a witch.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So it started with that, and then the chick on the noose like shoots up into the sky like a superhero. I was like, what the fuck? And then it moved over to punk rock. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? And then it got like a view of a lake with some slow music. And I was like, what the fuck? And then, dude, it was all fucking over the place. But it settled in. And you kind of seen that there was a pattern, and it ended up working a lot better than it did in the beginning.
This was something that I didn't catch. I'm glad you brought up the old-timey thing because
Yeah.
I had so I thought I went in with the conception from having watched it before. I went in with the notion that the old-timey witch hanging situation,
Which,
and yeah, and I think this is confirmed. I think they talk about it in the movie. That's supposed to be the mom's mother
yes.
who was hanged. That was only 47 years ago, apparently,
Yeah,
which I had not picked up the first time.
I thought it looked more modern than old-timey to me. Like, when I was
Really?
watching it, there was just something about it where I was like, "Okay, this is, like, happening, like, not now, but fairly recently."
They look like they were villagers.
Yeah, but, I mean, they lived up in the mountains all by themselves and shit.
Yeah, maybe. All right.
I mean,
I didn't get that.
it wasn't, like, super
I mean, you're
old-timey
right.
because she shot her.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. That was another funny part. That woman covered the kid's eyes when they started to shoot her. Oh yeah, let's bring my kid to the hanging. No big deal. Sit and watch this. But oh my god, a gun. Oh shit, don't look, Jimmy. Like, are you kidding me? Fucking god. But no, it started off rough. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, the mother, she really shined through for this. And I'll tell you, one point that I wish they would have went a little further with is when homegirl's drawing by the lake or the creek or whatever, and that dude comes up, and it's creepy moment, and the mother takes him out to the woods.
Yeah.
And this is where I wish they would have really won me over in the horror element. Is I don't know why they would have her, like, the way she killed that dude. She lifts him up in the air. It looked like Iron Man did it. Like, it was just like, why wouldn't she just lunge at, like, that would have been cool as shit.
I was like, "Damn, this bitch using the Force."
She was. But then at the same time, like, I mean, that was done badly. They definitely should have did something different with that. Like, that was ridiculous that that's the route they went.
I kind of liked how he just sort of, like, evaporated. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's a horror movie. That's perfect for her to lunge at him and, like, nod is like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And they already made that effect of him doing. They could have made her lunge. Like, it probably would have been cheaper. Maybe, I don't know. But at the same time, that was bad to me. But she has this weird, like, she asked him if he's a father first or if he's married, and like, she knew what she was gonna do, and she is evil because she's killing somebody. But at the same time, it's like there's morality there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super interesting. Like, she didn't want to do it. Though she did, but she wanted to do it right.
I did really like her as a character. We're talking about things that could have been executed better. I think a big one is, and it's not the only solution, but the movie does feel very scattered. And I think that one of the things that could have fixed that is focusing more on the mother. I think the scariest part of the movie is definitely the end, and I think the way that they build up the end with a Hellbender only being able to be killed by other Hellbenders, like, it's set up very well, I think there's a very deep, womanly dread of seeing your child kind of take your place in the world. I think it's a very human emotion but I think it would have hit a lot harder if we had focused on the mother and her fear of what her child is turning into.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Alternatively, we could have focused more on the kid and less on the mother, but because the mother has the horror in the end, this would have been a much scarier movie if it had focused on her perspective throughout the runtime more, I think.
Yeah. I would have. Rob, you seem to be on the lesser end of the ladder here with this one. Do you at least acknowledge that?
What?
Like the mother was a strong character, or did
No,
that
I
not
like the
hit?
characters. I like the
Okay.
characters. I like the performances. I just don't think what they were given to do was very much it wasn't. I don't know. There's something about the execution of this movie that just does not work. And I can't quite put my finger on what it is. Like I said, it feels like it thinks it's very lofty and important, but it also, that's what it thinks it is, but really it just feels kind of paper thin to me. I don't think that the relationships are well, the relationship between the girl and Amber is well established. When the movie started and Amber first appeared, I thought, okay, so it's going to be this story, but it wasn't. And we don't really even see all that much of Amber in the movie. And it turns out to be much more of the story between her and her mom. They could have cut out the whole Amber thing altogether and just made a movie about the two of them, and it would have been more interesting.
I think the problem with it is that this movie could have done without the whole Amber thing. And I agree with that point of it because they didn't do it well. So what they did with that, you could have did without it. It wouldn't have changed the movie much. It could have been a random person she had down there. It was a little more oomph behind it when it was Amber, but there was not enough in there to really make me give that much of a shit about it. I wish it would have been in there, but they would have did it better. Would have resolved that issue even better, but they didn't. So
yeah, I mean the whole Amber's whole character in this movie is she breaks into somebody's house to swim in their pool, invites her back. She comes back. They do shots of tequila, which they know it's this girl's first shot at tequila. What are you making her drink a worm for? Come on,
that's facts. Yeah,
that's fucked up. You don't do that to somebody.
That's a dick move.
And then
also, I'm obsessed with the girl who volunteers to drink the worm. She looks way too into it.
Dude, that girl would have made a much
name.
more interesting character to focus on, I think.
She was fascinating to me. She has one line, and it's volunteering to drink a worm, and I loved her.
Yeah. That girl's a party too, because she's out there playing the drums, even though she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing and stuff. But yeah, so they do that, and then they have the falling out right after that, and then we don't really see Amber again for a long stretch of the movie.
Yeah.
And then she comes back just at the end, and then gets mad because she stole some 50-cent barrettes or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? There's nothing to Amber's character. It feels like she should either not be in the movie or she should be a pivotal character in the movie, and she's neither.
And again, it's not, we can't look at what they could have done, because it's what they gave us, but it is frustrating because Amber is Izzy's one chance to have a friend or to have a partner, or she plays this really important role that just got really underutilized in the movie. And also the fact that she can't forgive Izzy for the barrettes of all things, but that they can't repair their friendship is a big it informs why Izzy bends so hard to hell, I guess, to put it in the movie's own terminology there. I think it's a really good tipping point. I think it tells us a lot about Izzy as a character. I wish they had used it more,
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been more interesting.
And it's kind of there, but you have to piece it together for yourself, and you shouldn't have to. They should have hit those themes
right
during the runtime,
Right, because you're going to have dummies like me watching this movie who can't figure out why it's a pride movie.
I was looking
watching it
forward too, man.
I'm like, why am I watching this? There's nobody waving a rainbow flag or dancing around or nothing. What the hell?
Yeah, I was looking forward to.
Yeah, so I don't know. And also, why is Izzy such a fucking weirdo? She goes to give her bikini back and she gift wrapped it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Just bring me my shit. You ain't gotta fucking put it in a box and wrap it up. It ain't a fucking birthday present. That's my own shit.
I know what's in there, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I bought it. It's fine. Yeah, and I this was one of the other movies I was thinking while watching it that we should have did. And I don't know how you guys would have treated it, but when Rob mentioned that the other girl who was a good time, she should have been the main character, I thought, well, then we'd have Jennifer's Body. Why didn't we do Jennifer's Body?
So, because I wasn't going to be nice to Jennifer's Body.
Really?
Yeah.
Jennifer's Body, Cat.
I know. It's the thing about Jennifer's Body. The rewatches kill me sometimes. I watched Jennifer's Body when it came out, and I was not out of the closet yet at that point. Even to myself, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why I liked Jennifer's Body so much. I feel like that was a very universal experience for a lot of women that were into Jennifer's Body inexplicably for no reason. I loved that movie so much, and I didn't watch it for like years and years after that because it just wasn't streaming anywhere. I didn't have a copy. It was one of those kind of situations. It came to Prime last year, and the rewatches fucking kill me. It's not good. I hate to say it, but having that space from it, like I remembered it as this perfect movie in my head, and the framing is really awkward. The writing's not that good. I don't like Jennifer's Body. It
was a vibe movie though.
It has vibes.
Yeah.
It has very gay vibes.
Cat.
Huh?
Have you seen Megan Fox?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. This discussion's over now.
Yeah.
That's funny as shit. I love Jennifer's Body, man. I'll watch that shit anytime. And not only because, like, I mean, obviously Megan Fox, but it's really good. Like, it's a vibe movie, It's like putting on a Friday the 13th.
Has anyone, in looking at Hellbender, was this a first time watch for all three of us?
For me.
No, I had seen Hellbender.
You had?
I had.
And you still picked it?
Mikey picked it as much as I did.
Did not pick it.
No, so this was one I was kind of hoping that the rewatch was going to get me because all of my friends really loved this one. I was kind of the odd one out here, and it was like maybe now that I know what I'm getting into, I'll like it more. And honestly, it's fine.
I feel like we spent so much time trying to find a Pride movie we would be nice to, and this is I would have been nicer to Freddy's Revenge than this thing.
I wouldn't have been. No.
That was the thing, is that like it wasn't even that we thought we were going. It wasn't even that I thought anyone was going to be nice to this one. It was that I knew we wouldn't be nice to so many of, like, this was kind of a wild card, I guess, is how we, because like I knew you weren't going to be nice to High Tension.
I've never seen it. I don't know.
High Tension.
I know.
And High Tension wasn't like the worst thing ever, but if you're gonna be that egregious with your plot, fuck you. No.
And that's the thing, is because like I had a feeling there was a very real chance that it was going to be me defending a movie against you guys, or all three of us shitting on a movie. And it's like, at least Hellbender was a wild card, like, because the other one that I wanted to do, other than, I had a few on here that were just vibes, like in the chat, Raw being one of them, because it very much, like, the queer community has embraced Raw for the themes, even though it's not canonically all that gay. And I like Raw a lot better than this one, but also, like, it's French, it's very graphic, it's very pretentious. Everyone was gonna hate it.
We should have did the Babadook. Even though everybody's doing the Babadook, we should have just played it safe and did the damn Babadook.
I talked to Kat about that. I didn't know that Babadook thing was still a thing.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That was
was the
still like the
meme.
Babadook was embraced as like a queer icon. I thought that was kind of like over, but apparently it's still a thing.
No.
Have you seen his hat? We can't let go of the Babadook.
Doesn't Art the Clown have a hat like that? Is Art gay now?
Maybe.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Apparently, we only get one every year, though, and we've wasted this year on the Skinamarink phone, so.
Goddamn.
Busy hanging out with Pete Davidson.
Come on. Why, Pete Davidson? No. You don't like him either. Why are you doing that?
I know, but there's two things I don't like together.
Motherfucker. You know what? Just for that.
So
and where are my balls?
In watching this movie and seeing their band play, this is such a small thing, but it drove me fucking crazy. They couldn't possibly be playing the songs they were supposedly playing.
That is, yeah, that was a big pet peeve.
The songs had both guitar parts and bass lines.
So it was something that really irritated me, and strangely enough, the one scene where it doesn't bother me is where she's just playing the drums, like at the party, and they have the guitar, because then it's so egregious. It's so stylized that you're like, it has to be intentional. But yeah, when they have the guitar lines and it's just the drums and bass, that irritated the shit out of me.
Yeah, it drove me nuts. There's no way. Why did they have to make her play a bass? Why didn't they just give her a guitar? I would have bought it if it was a guitar. If she just
even if it was
guitar,
multiple guitars, I would have bought it.
Right,
you know,
right? Because I've heard the White Stripes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I would have. I mean, they're not the fucking White Stripes, but you know, I would have at least bought it. But when she kept talking about needing bass strings and stuff, I'm like, you can't possibly be playing the songs that you purport to be playing.
Yeah, that was creepy too. Like, because it didn't dawn on me beforehand. Like, oh, it's in a band. Like, I just didn't. I was pretty annoyed at that point in the movie. It just didn't dawn on me that it's like, oh, she's in a band and it's got to just be her mom, right? But then I think after, I forget which scene it was, when they cut to them in their, band get up and everything they're about to play. It's just two of them on that little platform, and I was like, holy shit, that's fucking creepy.
It's creepy because they get all done up for it, like put on makeup and shit.
Yeah, they go all out, just them, with no aspirations of ever doing it.
No, her mom's like, no, we're not going out. We're not playing in front of people. Nothing.
This is big time to us. This is it.
Yeah,
we're at where we're at. They're not moving. Yeah. I don't know, man. And then they had like that scene where they both got high. That was kind of funny. But see, they did shit like that where it's like they were eating the maggots, and she said peace pipe, so obviously she thought they were going to be smoking some weed, and it was the effect they were going for. But like that, when you're doing what they're doing in certain spots, and the word pretentious has been thrown around, like that kind of stuff, when you're doing that, it's hard to switch gears to something like the eating the maggots to get high and whatever. I do think the what I'm talking to lead to this, to the scene where they're in that white background, they're wearing all black, they're puking on each other and high and doing their little powers, making the smoke things. I mean, that was cool. I was there with it. That fit in the movie. They were trying to be artsy, but again, they didn't do it well enough for it to really come through with what they were trying to do.
The thing with being that artsy is you have to have really good cinematography and very good visuals, and they did not always.
I didn't find it all that artsy. Like when I was watching, I was like, this belongs in The Craft.
But did you at least see that that's what they were going for?
Yeah, but this movie was going for a lot of stuff it didn't achieve.
Right. They didn't achieve it to where it should have been. I agree, but that's what they were going for, and it wasn't awful what they gave us, but it was. You could tell it fell flat. You could tell. It just felt that it fell flat. So,
yeah, it was flat, but I guess by that point in the movie, I felt like the whole thing had fallen flat. So I just wasn't even all that bothered by it. I was more perturbed by the fact that her mom spent $75 on that ugly fucking crown.
Yeah.
The one that really the costume choice that really bothers me is she's out in the woods in a shirt that just says meat. And then which is strange enough on its own. You're like, what a fucking weird shirt. And then the cop that comes to talk to them is like, where can I get one of those shirts? And I know like it's just one of those, like adults trying to, flatter teen kind of, he's a friendly guy, whatever. But the fact that it's about that shirt is so funny.
Yeah. Again, secondary characters in this movie, they kill it because that cop was awesome.
That cop was great.
I would watch a whole movie based around that guy.
That's funny.
I choose to believe he's the stepdad of the girl that wants to eat the worm. Just toss the two of them in a movie together.
Yeah, man, I don't know. But again, the secondary characters, yeah, they were cool. But that mom, man, that I don't know. I just can't say enough about the notes that she hit. And like when she said she went out with some friends, the first thing she asked were, "Are your friends okay?"
Yeah.
Because it's not like, she comes across as like at the beginning, I kind of thought she was going to be the evil. And then a switch.
Yeah.
And to see her switch like that, it felt seamless. Like it all made sense. She does what she has to do, but at the same time, she's like, she's being oppressive to this girl and keeping her secluded, and you feel bad for her, but you realize it needs to be like, she doesn't like it. That's what it is. She's protecting her. She's protecting other people. She's so much, you can tell how good of a person she is given their circumstance, like that there was depth there, man, and she pulled that shit off. Oh, another thing before we start, because I'm sure we're winding down on stuff to talk about. This needs to be mentioned. The only thing worse than a teenage girl is a teenage girl with superpowers. If my kid could slam doors without touching them, holy shit, there'd be a war in this fucking house. Could you imagine that, Rob?
No.
Kid slam doors on you and would not even near them. That'd be terrible.
And I will tell you right now, there is nothing that pisses me off more than when he slams a door.
Oh, I hate that shit.
My God. And I get it now. Like, I couldn't figure out why it would make my parents so mad when I was a kid. And I don't even really know why it makes me so mad when he does it now. But God damn it.
It's such a fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, you motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. When I was younger, if I slammed the door, no matter where I was going, I could have been out the door. My dad heard it. He would make me go in the house, go to the door, and open it and shut it again. That's type of shit.
That's the quickest way to get someone to stop slamming doors, though.
I stopped, and there was so many times I cocked that door back and I let it go softly because I knew. But yeah, no, a kid with that, when she slammed that door on her without that, there'd be no doors in this fucking house.
Yeah.
Not one door. Not even a front door. But yeah, that was hilarious.
I do think it has its little moments, like, and a lot of them are things that could have been done better. Like a lot of them are missed shots, but and that's why I think the movie is okay. Like there was enough in this that I really did enjoy. Like they're sprinkled throughout there. I think the door was funny. I think some of it's not revolutionary, like witch stuff that they're talking about or anything, but I do think some of the mythology was cool. Like it's got its little things that work.
Yeah, it does, man. It does.
I like it more on the rewatch, not because there was a ton extra to notice, but just because I really did think that this was going to be like some revolutionary shit going into it last year. People were talking the fuck out of this movie, like I still don't get that. I also don't get on the other side, the absolute, like pendulum swing of this where people are really mad at it now. I think it's fine. It was trying to do something, it didn't hit, but there were cool ideas in here. It has good moments. It's got some good characters. It just, all the pieces don't fit.
Yeah. And I guess we do have to talk about it. It was kind of a big deal. The ending, I can, you know what? I'll round out my point about the mother and tie it into the ending because my thoughts kind of intertwine with them. The mother finally goes into the basement. Don't know what it took her that long to check the basement, but she goes into that little chest thing. There's a really weird hole.
I love her reaction to the hole. She opens the chest and you can tell she's got the best what the fuck face. And then
Yeah.
so you're expecting something, like really crazy. And then the camera like really slowly turns down. And then you're also like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And she goes into it, which I mean, fuck that ever going into something like that. But I feel like the end fell flat. She found Amber down there. She can't move somehow. Well, oh no, she cut her body, whatever the hell happened. And she can't move. And then the mother runs into the daughter. And this pissed me off because, they explain how the mother dies. The daughter kills the mother and then the daughter has the child. That's how their whatever they got going on works. And the mother put up no fight at all, man. And you could tell she's been through hell. Drives a fucking hell of a Mustang, but she's been through hell, man. You could just see it on her face. The shit she's got to go through trying to protect her daughter with all this stuff going on and make sure her life, raise her to be good in these circumstances. And she put up no fight at all. None.
No.
That's very unbelievable.
So I don't know what maybe it is. Maybe it is, and that's why it should have been explored more. For me, I think it was just one of those. She had so many ideas about how she was going to raise her kid better than she was raised, and I think one of the parts of that they had kind of been trying to set up was her not fighting her daughter the way that her mother fought her, just because there is that scene when they're discussing what happens to Hellbenders where she's like, where Izzy asks her, how long are you going to live? And she's like, you tell me. I think it's one of those things where it's just like she's been training for so long to accept that the end is coming, that when it reaches, but she was prepared for it in like I think she thought Izzy was also going to see it that way, as like a carrying on of tradition and passing the torches and not being evil. And then when it's like when she's blindsided with that not going down this way, even though she's been preparing for that to happen, I think she's just kind of in shock. But yeah, like we should know better if that's true, because even if I'm right, it was not set up nearly as well as it could have been.
I just read it as like a sense of resignation.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, think about it this way, Mikey. We talk about how big a pain in the ass it is to have normal teenagers around. Now, imagine you got one with superpowers who's evil.
Slamming all the doors. That's just gotta
be a fucking nightmare, man. I think I'd rather be dead.
Slamming all the doors. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I obviously that's what you go with. What you were saying, Kat, like, that had to be what it was. But again, from what they showed us, I had no reason to think that.
I will say that that impression was like what I got watching the second time. I don't know if I had that when I watched it the first time. It might be because I knew how the movie was going to end.
Maybe.
That like I picked up on that this time around. But
but also based on the lore of what we know about Hellbenders, is there even anything she can do?
No, it's inevitable. Like,
right. I mean, her daughter is going to kill her at some point. So, like, there's nothing.
Not if she kills her daughter, maybe.
Right, but can she even do that based on the lore of what we know?
Yeah.
Is that even?
And that might make
possible?
her like the end of the line, also.
Right. And does she want to kill her daughter?
That's fair. But show that. All I've seen from this character is she's a badass and she's gonna do what the fuck shit is she has to do, and she knows about all this shit, and the kid is just learning. That right there, that's all we've seen. I have no reason to think that she wouldn't handle business. But if that story, their bond, I got it. It could make sense if they did it right. Could have been done better.
Could make sense.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. But what they gave us, it doesn't.
No.
Could have been done better.
Especially because she does go, like, this wasn't something that had irritated me either time, but to your point, she does go down there like, "I'm going to save you from yourself." And then
Yeah.
Izzy's like, let me see your Hellbender face. Not good enough, I'm gonna kill you. Or
No
I'm
fight
gonna
at
keep
all.
you down here or whatever." And she's like, "Okay."
Yeah, like, damn, man. Could have been done. And then it just cuts, done, finished. I said, you motherfuckers, you. Really? Mama didn't deserve to go out like that, man. Did not. Did not. All right.
My last note about
Okay.
this, and this is such a cheesy thing, but I'm a big sucker for it in movies. I really like when there's like a creepy little rhyme in a horror movie, and I like that this one, this had that, and I think it was really well done. You know, even though it is kind of a trope, I liked the poem that Izzy writes, the ominous fucking "I'm going to kill you" poem that happens. I guess it's a lyric and not a poem, but we don't get to hear the song. We just get to
No,
hear the
we don't get to hear the 25 guitars playing.
Oh man. Yeah. So that's Hellbender, man. Do we have reviews? Do we have all that
Yeah,
stuff?
I've got some reviews.
Nice.
So this has I I'm actually going to start with the IMDb rating this time around. Usually I start with Rotten Tomatoes, but the IMDb rating for this is it is 5.8 out of 10 for IMDb. And I think that nothing signifies the drop in the cultural like dismissing of Hellbender in the last, and that's the crazy part, is it's not been that long. It's been like 7 months, I think. It's fallen a long way since then. The tomato meter for Hellbender is at a 97%, and the
Damn.
audience score is at 55.
What?
Yeah, people were all over this fucking movie, and it I felt a little bit like I was going crazy today reading through reviews. And the 10-star reviews are there, but I had to go like way, way, way far back because a lot of the more recent ones, people just were tearing into it.
Damn. Okay.
But in true fashion, I did not choose like the best and worst. I chose the ones that were funniest to me while I was picking reviews. So here we go. Hellbender, 8 out of 10. Best horror film I've seen in years. Dot dot dot. Let's
The
face it,
fuck?
most horror films have a similar plot, parentheses, haunted house or deranged serial killer, etc., and are usually a little ridiculous. This one was fairly original and a little creepy. I'd recommend this to anyone who likes the horror genre.
Yeah, because no one's ever made a witch movie before.
No one's ever made a witch movie before,
Never,
Rob.
never happened.
Just
No
haunted
candy bar.
houses, deranged serial killers,
Yep,
etc.
that's it. That's it. That's all we ever get. No, that person gets a candy bar for not understanding what the fuck a horror is. Motherfucker.
This one might also get a candy bar, but on the other side of the spectrum. Here we have a 1 out of 10, another ... and then the review also begins ... women empowerment movie of the week. One word can be used to describe this mediocre effort: meh. What we see here is a powerful duo, mother and daughter, who controls forces beyond normal as they are witches. Wow! Exclamation point. Be fearful because nothing can stop them except for the pretty bad and annoying band they belong to, the silliness of the plot, and somewhat amateurish production and acting. And the obvious conclusion: if you are an airheaded female teen, you may enjoy it. If you are a fan of the Twilight silliness, this is a movie for you.
Wow.
The allusion to Twilight really just
The misogyny just jumps right off the page for you, too.
Yeah, they just start at like an 11 with the misogyny.
Yeah.
And then they seal it with a Twilight reference. Like all women love dumb things like Hellbender and Twilight, the two most
Yeah.
similar movies.
I didn't get that at all watching this. Like, not even a little bit. Where the fuck? We've been talking about it for how long and never got, like,
No.
the fuck? That's someone going into something looking for something. That's what that is. He had his mind made up before he even watched. When he seen the trailer or the poster or whatever, he had his mind made up, and that was it. They could have both died in the beginning, and two men could have took over. He would have had the same exact decision.
Same thing.
Fucking idiot. Okay, candy bar Rob, come on, he deserves it.
Unmute. Yeah, candy bar for that guy. Certainly.
All right, nice.
All right. This one, this one, we have to read the title and then we can move on. 3 out of 10. This is the real Addams Family. LOL.
Wow.
It does not address that, and the review is long, and that point is never defended. So,
All right, we never know.
I don't know what they meant by that. I don't know if that was like a burn or what was going on there.
Well, it says at the beginning of the movie, it says an Addams Family production or something.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the fuck that meant either, but.
All right. This one, I think, Rob, we might have a triple candy bar situation coming up here soon. Hellbender, 8 out of 10. Extremely underrated film, not a big budget blockbuster, and I'm glad it's not. Loved it. Lots of exclamation points. First off, this is the film the witch was trying to make and failed miserable.
What?
Damn.
Loved the cinematography, the story, the cast, and especially the ending. For a non-Hollywood mainstream film, the effects were excellent and done in just the right amount. Had a little gore to give it that horror touch. That's a solid 8 all day long. We are big horror fans and love them all when done right. Trust us, true horror fans will enjoy this. Not an action-packed film, but just stay with it. Trust us. You'll be glad you did. Loved this film. Hope they make a sequel. It deserves one.
All right. Well, first of all, this is how you know a movie's not good. When somebody says, trust me, stay with it, trust me.
Yeah.
That's usually a sign the film is not any good. Secondly, The Witch. They're comparing this movie to The Witch.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fucking insane. Triple candy bars all around. I don't think we've ever had one of those before.
Triple candy bars. Wow, that one got a candy bar too?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
For the witch or for the trust us?
For The Witch, the trust us, and thinking this movie deserves an 8.
Damn. And a sequel.
And a sequel. One more. I don't know if we'll get to the quadruple candy bar today, but I did go for it when pulling reviews. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Finally. All capital letters in quotation marks, followed by a lot of periods. Finally. Something that I can really get comfortable with, and this movie definitely didn't disappoint me at all. This witch, all capital letters, movie was even better than Nicolas Cage old flick, Season of the Witch.
Oh boy.
So good, it's better than that one, huh?
So good.
Wow.
I also really like the phrasing of the Nicolas Cage old flick, Season of the Witch.
That's the standard that all movies have to meet. They have to be better than that.
Does that get a candy bar? No.
No, because it made me laugh.
God damn. You like these reviews a little too much, man. You have a lot of fun with them sometimes.
I mean, come on. Nicolas Cage's Season of the Witch. That's the bar. That's the bar you have to get over.
Holy shit. It's weird how much Nicolas Cage has been coming up lately, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's very strange. I feel like we control the univerus. We just don't know how to do it.
You should live with me in Cat's World.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of Nicolas Cage.
Wow.
You're still not allowed on the show, but we do invite you to watch the Nicolas Cage films if you would like. You missed Rumblefish, Mikey.
Yeah, boy, you missed it, Mikey.
No, I will not watch the films along with you guys. I do listen though, so I pull some kind of weight. Why I'm still not allowed on that show?
No, lifetime ban. You know what you did?
Come on, man! I didn't do nothing.
You know what you did?
You guys were saying that the Nicolas Cage movies weren't that great either.
Right now, we're not in a good spot. I'll put it that way.
That's all I was saying.
I got some hope for the next one, but boy, I've had some hope for a couple, and it hasn't panned out right now. We're still early.
Maybe you guys can take a break every couple movies and just have like a Nick Cage discussion. If you need
got a lot of movies we got to get through, man. Dude's been done like 100 movies.
Yeah. But if the early one's that rough, you might need a reprieve.
And he's still making them too. I mean,
yeah.
Although Kat did have some ideas for some shows she wanted to do that were different.
Yeah.
So we'll get into some of those maybe.
Like having me on as a guest.
No, that wasn't one of them.
No one brought up?
I don't think I brought that up. I don't think I remembered to do that.
Can you remember next week? Here we are again,
I'll
like
try.
this hard life. Rob, you kept forgetting to bring it up to the secret panel of judges. Kat, you can't let it drag on like that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm better
forgetting.
about bringing stuff up, but lifetime ban is less ambiguous. So
That's fair, but bring it up. See what happens.
All right.
At the next meeting. All right, let me know. Rob, do you have
Not much. There
Okay.
wasn't much on this movie, but I couldn't find a budget anywhere. But I did find its worldwide gross of $67,474.
Damn.
Oh.
I'm guessing they made money. The idea of the film came from Toby Poser learning that she was donor conceived, and she imagined, what if her biological father was actually the devil?
We all wonder that sometimes.
That's a vibe, yeah.
And the mother and daughter in the movie are mother and daughter in real life.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That explains why they look so much alike.
It does, yeah. Clears up some of that.
Yeah.
That's all that I had, though. There wasn't a whole lot for this movie.
Okay. All right, Portnoy time. So everybody knows, listening to, there have been talks about maybe revising the Portnoy system, tweaking, not revising, tweaking would be a good thing. So if anybody has any ideas, let us know. Think about making it a little more official around here.
Doing a
Anybody believe that?
scorecard type.
All right. Anybody want to go first? I can if you guys want.
Sure.
All right. I pretty much said everything I need to say about it, man. This movie was mid, and it could have been so much better. That's the problem. It could. I feel like I'm having kind of a
I feel
better
like it might actually lose some points because it could have been so good.
That's the problem here. And that does affect my Portnoy score. If I'm sitting there saying, damn, man, this could have been really fucking good, and you couldn't see that, there's a problem. You're getting paid all the money to make it. I'm just watching the fucking thing. So yeah, you definitely lose points for that. And maybe that's not entirely fair, but it is what it is. They did a lot good, very well. They missed on a lot of spots. And that's that. And I'll be honest, the fact that it wasn't a little more horror, it got there at the end. But throughout, like there could have been a couple of things, like attacking that dude in the woods for the mother, like I mentioned earlier, would have went a long way. And instead they went Marvel Captain America superhero in a couple spots. Very strange. I deducted a little bit for that. And but I'm not gonna kill it, man, because it did a lot good, and I'm gonna go with a 4.7. I think that's fair. And again, it could have been higher if they didn't do so good at certain things to where I wanted more of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, but 4.7. Who's next?
I'll go next. This thing is not going to be Slasher Radio approved. I have the highest score by a long shot, and I'm not getting up. I have the longest score by a long shot. I'm just going to double down. And I'm not getting to there's no way I could get this to a 7.5. I don't think, even for me. I do, however, I have it significantly higher than you. I do have it at a 6.6. This is an above average movie for me. It actually, just like if we're counting up like points that it's earned, the performances earned a lot of points. The concept I felt was really maybe not like the main overarching concept, but like the details, the lore I felt was really original. I liked even though the scenes were weird, I did kind of like the music. I liked the lyrics. I got my little rhyme in there. This could have been like it could have earned a lot of points, but it does lose some back by not executing them better. That's a tough
It
that's a
hurts
tough
it
thing.
twice. Yeah.
Yeah. So the potential kind of kills it, but that's a 6.6.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That's fair. That's
Well,
fair.
Kat apparently knows she got the highest score already.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
confident.
Safe bet.
I like the performances a lot in this movie. I thought everybody did a good job. Mike, you mentioned the mother and pointed out her performance, and I thought she was terrific. I thought Izzy was really good too. The actress who played her
Yeah.
was fantastic. The supporting characters, there were two that we talked about, the girl who wanted to eat the worm and the cop that I really enjoyed as well. And I did think visually it looked pretty good. It was shot in an interesting location, just kind of in the mountains, and it was secluded. It's very easy to make that look good, which is fine. I mean, it's not a shot at the movie. They didn't have a lot of money, so they pulled that off pretty well too. But overall, this movie it wants to be something that it just does not have the capability of being. It feels paper thin to me. I don't find the story particularly interesting. Kat said she liked the lore. I thought the lore was a bit confusing. It's just I there's just not a whole lot here, to be honest with you, for me. I was bored in an 86-minute movie, whatever the runtime was. This thing gets a 2.3. I can't believe you guys
God
so
damn.
high.
Wow.
Wow. Holy shit. 2.3. Damn, man.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
it just kept dropping the longer the movie went on.
So when we were discussing Pride movies, and I had tossed all those out there, and the one that we kind of seemed to be leaning toward was Hellbender. At first, I was disappointed. I do feel a little bit vindicated right now because I don't feel personally attacked by the low scores for Hellbender, where I might have if this were Raw.
I mean, I don't know. I've never seen Raw. I liked Titane or Titan or however the fuck you pronounce it.
Oh yeah, I
and
had forgotten we had talked about Titan.
That's the same director, I believe. So I would not have been opposed to Raw. But I don't know. I mean, I was disappointed we weren't doing the gay bed and breakfast of terror. So
I don't even know. I didn't
Which
even know that
honestly,
was
I need
real.
to find a
did I send you the
copy of that.
poster?
You send me a lot of things.
It's on Tubi, I think. Kat.
You send me a lot of things. All right. Look, like, and that's part of the thing, because maybe you feel that way, Kat, partially because, like except for Rob, but like my knock on it was, it would have been higher, like I said before, if it wasn't as good as it was, if that makes sense. Like, they're more losing points because they didn't do shit good enough. The score is a little untelling of what the movie actually was. But then we got to go by what they gave us, man. That's what it is. We do.
I asked a friend, well, like right before we recorded, if she had seen Hellbender and if she had anything that she wanted to say. She's about to be really mad at me because she just got back as we're wrapping up here. She is obsessed with this movie, apparently.
Oh boy.
And is like, I hope you defended it. And it's like, oh boy, kind of.
Yeah, but you did.
Should have had her on the show. I'd like to pick the
I
brain
should
of somebody who's obsessed with this thing.
Yeah, like there really wasn't much to defend, man. Like, it wasn't. Well, Rob was a little bit of a butthole to it, like I said, but it's not like we tore it apart, really. Like we were. I feel we were very fair.
I was gonna say, I feel like we were fair to Hellbender.
Yeah.
And I think that this is one of those movies that I think gets really polarized. And I think having some middle of the road reactions to Hellbender is probably as accurate as you can be,
Yeah. I mean, I feel we were fair.
Yeah.
I feel we were fair.
I feel like I was especially fair.
I feel like you were a butthole. I always feel that way though, so it doesn't really mean anything. Follow the show, guys, at Slasher Radio on Twitter. Next week is Patreon week. So guys, okay.
I'm looking forward to Patreon week.
It'll be interesting to see how the power rankings shuffle up the suggestion.
That does happen sometimes. We did just before we recorded this, we recorded the Patreon power rankings where Rob ranks the patrons. They were crazy. There was a lot of shuffle up, and yeah, there is sometimes blowover that me and Kat have to deal with because of you.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Rob is punished or if you and I are punished to further like encourage Rob.
Yeah, like sometimes it's just a nuclear bomb and everyone's getting hit. Other times there's a hitman put out there and, with a sniper rifle on a roof and there's a specific target.
Well,
we don't know.
Everybody's got to remember that you guys, you do encourage me. I wouldn't act the way I do if you didn't encourage it.
Encourage
it?
I tell you to stop doing dances every fucking week and you continue. I couldn't be more clear. What am I encouraging?
No more dances till next week.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, so we got Patreon next week. If you want to get in on that, you can put up a movie for nomination. Then there's a voting process. We have nothing to do with it. Zero say. You guys have to say. Patreon.com/Slasher Radio. I feel like the trivia, not trivia, the draft thing. Are we still doing that? Because I really like that idea.
I don't know. We never figured out how to make it work.
Yeah, we have to come up with a list.
Discussions are ongoing.
All right, that would be fun.
Kat's in charge of the math.
Nope.
There's no math.
It's not gonna be that hard, Kat. You just have to go through every character ever to be in a horror movie and assign a value.
I promise not to hate it if I don't have to do any math. I don't have to figure out how it works. No statistics, no logistics.
That's it. So that might be coming up, and we need a banger. That's what we need. We honestly need a banger. I'm hoping the Patreon, like we either get a banger the following week or we get one next week. We don't know. We need a true, like we've been, guys, the last few weeks.
It's been rough.
Yeah, we did Velocipaster, at Pupil, Hellbender for better and worse.
Hellbender, I think, was an interesting discussion, but yeah, we've had maybe not the best run of movies lately.
Yeah, we need
overall.
a banger in there. So hopefully we can get one. But yeah, again, patreon.com/Slasher Radio. Tiers starting as low as $3 a month. And I'm at Mikey's Dead. Rob, where they find you?
I'm on Twitter at RadioRob123, and you can also listen to the Nick F and Woo Cage Cast with me and Kat as we go through Nick Cage's filmography. And we just released an episode on Racing with the Moon, and we've got the Cotton Club coming up.
You listen to me. You're Nick fucking... Whoa, Cage!
Welcome to the Nick fucking Woo Cage Cast. And Kat, woo! There you go. I know you picked the name because you really wanted to lay in that whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
The problem is going to be I am rarely, if ever, going to have the energy to do that by the time we record these episodes. However, you are welcome to do it anytime you'd like.
All right. My plan was to do it every week, and then I heard our intro music and decided I might not need to do it every week. But because it is our inaugural show, I feel like maybe I should go for it. Welcome, everyone, to the Nick fucking Woo Cage Cast.
That intro never gets old, too, by the way. It's funny. Kat, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at cat_velour, VOLEUR. You can check out my website, catvelour.com, where my book, Revenge Arc, is available for pre-order. Coming out August 1st.
There you go. Buy it. That's coming up, man. It really is creeping.
It's like right around the corner.
Are you scared, Kat?
I'm scared.
Are you? Well, not scared, I guess. Nervous?
I am really nervous.
Yeah.
First of all, I feel like there's still kind of a lot of work to do. But also, yeah, there's like, it's going to be out soon. People will be able to read it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be sure to give you a full review.
Thanks.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? Yeah. Come check us out next week, guys. Patreon week. Like I said, go get involved. Patreon.com/radio. Good night. Slasher Radio.
All the best of Slasher Radio podcast.
If you're a podcast host, listen up. This one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle. And I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.